Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Haley and you're watching Between the Pages. It is Memorial Day weekend, so 3-day weekend. So I thought I would do something a little differently. Instead of starting I'll Create TBR Veterans episode 6, I kind of just want to do something different before I get into reading those books. So I thought we would do a swapping screen time for reading time. I know most people do this like over a week, but I work a full-time job besides, doing YouTube. So I can only do it over this weekend. So it's only gonna be 3 days. So we're gonna take the screen time from last Saturday, last Sunday, and last Monday. So the 3-day weekend. So last Saturday, I spent 4 hours and 22 minutes on my phone, predominantly on entertainment and playing games. I am notorious for sitting and watching YouTube on my TV while playing games on my phone. So that's kind of what spurred this. Plus, one time I went back and on a Saturday, I'd spent 11 hours on my phone on various apps in various categories. And I was like, ooh, that's probably not the best thing. So that's kind of what birthed this idea. So instead of choosing a TBR, I kind of want to do the random route. So I have a random number spinner on my phone. There are 9 wedges because there are 9 sections of this bookcase. So I'm going to spin it for the first cube, and then I'm going to spin it again to see what book we will be reading for the first part of this project. So let's spin it and find out which cube. Oh, that's cube 9. Okay, so you're not going to be able to see it, but this is predominantly down here is my romance shelf. So I'm really excited to get to pick something off this. I'm hoping for some certain books, so we'll see what the second number is. And that is number 4. So that will be Go Hex Yourself by Jessica Clare. This is from the same author as Holly Jolly Cowboy, which I really enjoyed. And I'm happy that this is the first book. I did a test spin last night just to see if this idea would work. And I pulled The Mirror of Beasts by Alexander Bracken. So I'm glad that we actually got a romance book because I tend to fly through these really quickly because I really like them. So yeah, this will be the first book that we will start in this project. So I am about 50 pages into Go Hex Yourself. I really am loving it so far. We are sitting at 3 hours and 21 minutes currently left to go. And I just wanted to update you a little bit. This is definitely a grumpy sunshine because Ben, or Caliban, whatever he wants to go by, is like, he's a asshole, but like I have a feeling that he's like asshole with a heart of gold. So we'll see, but he is definitely grumpy, and Reggie, or Regina, is definitely a sunshine because he even mentions that she's peppy, she's sunshiny, like actually uses the word sunshine. So yeah, this is definitely grumpy sunshine. Reggie is so uptight. She's like a control freak, she's a neat freak, definitely a type A personality. So I'm hoping that by her working for Drew and Ben, that she will learn to chill out and kind of just like enjoy life instead of being so worried about everything. It does start off on a misunderstanding, and I guess it had been so long since I had read the blurb that I didn't realize that like she is a mortal who knows absolutely nothing about magic. And so she answers this ad that has been spelled so only the person who is most qualified would be able to read it, because they're witches and warlocks, the Magnus family. And so she knows nothing about magic. She's immortal, and she ends up working for the Magnus family, which, like I said, are witches. Aunt Drusilla is a witch, and Ben Caliban, Mr. Magnus, whatever, is a warlock, and they do like spells and stuff. And so they're basically like hiring an assistant. And there's this card game in this world called Spellcraft the Magicking, which I'm pretty sure is a play on Magic the Gathering, which is like a card RPG game that they sell cards and you can like play online and things like that. So she takes this job thinking it's working for like a video game company or like a gaming company, and she is way in over her head. So I'm really liking that so far. I thought for sure it was like she's a witch, he's a warlock, like from rival families. So I might be confusing that with another book that's like kind of in the same like genre, like paranormal, supernatural romance. I love the mix of technology and magic. I am not myself a tech witch. I do know that there are some witches out there who do merge technology and spellcraft. I don't do that because I don't really get it. But at one point he sprinkles herbs like on his phone, like his phone camera, so he can see what Reggie has been doing throughout the day with his aunt. And I really like the mix of magic and technology, because in a lot of series and a lot of books, magic and technology don't mesh. Like, for example, I believe in Harry Potter, like computers, cell phones, whatever. I mean, it was the 90s, so like theoretically they had those things, but like technology and magic don't work together. Like they don't mesh at all. It's like total opposites, kind of like science and magic. But yeah, so I like the mesh between technology and magic and how they're using technology to like cast spells and things like that. So I really love that. And it's mentioned a lot that Reggie has freckles, and I was like, oh my god, to quote Natalie Megan from Weirdo Book Club, oh no, not freckles. Like, that's all I thought of, because I forget which review that popped up in, but one of her reviews, she's like, oh no, not freckles, because it seems like all of these love interests in like romance and like dark romance and paranormal romance and everything, they have freckles. Like, that seems to be like a thing or like a trope nowadays. So yeah, that was just my initial thoughts of Go Hex Yourself by Jessica Clare, and I'm gonna go eat lunch real quick because I'm super hungry. So yeah, probably feed my cat, because if you can hear him meowing in the background, it's probably because he hasn't eaten lunch yet. So we're gonna both eat lunch and then I'll come back to you when I have more thoughts. So we have reached the end of day one. We have completed the 4 hours and 22 minutes of reading. It's probably closer to almost 5 hours, because I got to like the very first like super like spicy scene in this book and was like, I can't stop. I gotta keep going. So I have read about 75% of this book today. So tomorrow, before we go into the next one is like, I think it's like 6.5 hours or something. We're definitely gonna have to pick another book. So, but yeah, I have nearly finished Go Hex Yourself. I am loving it so much. I mean, there was a bit of a hiccup after Reggie finds out that Ben was responsible for the death of his parents, and she's kind of like, well, I can't be with you anymore. So it was kind of like a third act breakup, but like not really, because we're 75% in, so we should be going into the third act breakup. But I feel like it came a little soon, so I don't know if that's still going to happen or not. I really hope not, because I hate third act breakups, because they're usually because of a stupid reason. But they talked through their shit. They had a little bit of sexy time. It didn't go all the way, so still waiting for that. But yeah, I am just enjoying this so much. I am so glad that I pulled this, and I'm kind of scared that like nothing else is gonna live up to this in this reading vlog. So yeah, I guess I will see you tomorrow, and we'll start day 2 of this little project. So it is Sunday. So today is the longest time that I have to read. It's about 6.5 hours. I think it's like 6 hours and 22 minutes or something like that. I am 100 pages from the end of Go Hex Yourself. So I definitely need to pick another book. So instead of having to stop and, you know, film everything, we're just going to go ahead and pick it now. So I'm going to bring up my random number spinner, and we're going to spin it and see what we'll be reading after I finish Go Hex Yourself. Okay, it is number 7, which is this one down here. I'm kind of hoping that we don't get Wings and Ruin, but if we do, I will still be happy with that choice. There's a couple of other ones that I would be okay with reading. I might DNF. I don't know. So let's just see what the next one's going to be. So that is number 5. Okay, so the next one will be Doctor Who, Night of the Humans by David Llewellyn. This is a Doctor Who novel. I am actually mildly excited to read this because it's got Eleven and Amy. Eleven is my doctor. So this would be really fun to read after reading a romance. Just a really fun, you know, sci-fi Doctor Who novel. So yes, this will be book 2, and I'm gonna start reading because it is currently 10:15 in the morning. I would normally not read this early, but we have 6.5 hours to read. So we have to start early so that way I'm not reading till like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, because I like my sleep, okay? I like to go to bed semi-early. I like to be in bed by at least 11, and I have a lot of before bed routines that I have to do and medication I have to take and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna start reading now and hopefully get a lot of reading done today. So I will be back with an update later. So I have finished both Night of the Humans and Go Hex Yourself. So that's 2 books down for this reading challenge. I have 2 hours and 38 minutes left on the timer. If I were to keep going, it would end at 9:49. I am not going to read that late because there's a couple of TV shows I like to watch on Sundays. So I think I'm going to read till about 8:30, so that's about an hour. But I need to pick another book. So we'll be going into book 3. So let's see which cube we will be picking from. Which is 6. So that would be this one. I wouldn't mind getting anything on here. I don't want Midnight Sun though, because I have that set aside for a project. So this is going to count as book 1, and then we're going to go down the line because I do want to read this very much, but I also don't want to get like my hopes up. So we'll see which book we will be picking. So that's book 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we will be reading Alex and Eliza by Melissa Dela Cruz. This is based off of the musical Hamilton, Alex and Eliza, Alexander Hamilton and Elizabeth Schuyler. So that's really interesting. I don't remember when I bought this. I think I may have bought it at Once Upon a Time Books, but I don't remember. So yeah, we're gonna read Alex and Eliza. I'm really liking these books that have been picked for me at random. So yeah, I'm gonna go read this now. So it is Monday, so it is the last day of my little reading project. We still have 2 hours to go from yesterday. I had a little bit of a hiccup yesterday and I ended up like napping for a couple hours, so I kind of lost a couple hours of reading. It's been really stormy here and it's been keeping me up at night, so I hadn't been sleeping that well. It is currently 9:30 in the morning. Again, I would not read this early, but we really need to get this done because I also have to read 3.5 hours for last Monday to cover my screen time. So it'll be a total of like 5.5 hours of reading today. So we're gonna get serious. I'm gonna put on a couple of sprints with Gavin because he does hour sprints, and so it kind of lets me keep track of how much longer I have to read and everything. I'm going to continue with Alex and Eliza. I do like it a lot right now. It starts off where they meet in a musical, so at the Winter's Ball hosted by the Schuyler's. And Alex and Eliza have not met yet, but I have a feeling that we're getting to that point. I kind of wonder how far this book is going to go, if it's going to go through like them meeting, them courting, and them getting married, because it's actually a trilogy of books. So I'm not sure where this one stops and how closely it's going to mirror Hamilton the musical, but I will let you know once I get further in. And so yeah, I'm gonna go start reading and hopefully maybe finish Alex and Eliza today, maybe pick another book, maybe start an Outcrate book. I'm not really quite sure yet. Depends on how I feel once I'm done with Alex and Eliza. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Okay, so we have completed day 2 on day 3. So I have finished the 2 hours that I had left. I am halfway through Alex and Eliza. It is playing out a lot differently than in Hamilton, so I think it might be drawing from more of historical accounts of how Alex and Eliza met. We are going into 1780, which I think is when the Winter's Ball is, and when Eliza kind of realizes she's in love with Alex. So I'm kind of hoping that we're moving towards that because it's very, very slow burn right now. Like I said, I'm halfway through. I am on page 152. So I'm curious to see where this goes. For last Monday, I spent 3 hours and 39 minutes on my phone. I think I can pretty much get that done today. Yesterday was a struggle because it was the longest that I had spent on my phone. So yeah, I'm going to start the timer and we're going to finish up this little reading experiment. Listen to the Christmas tree song next. Nice. I saw the flute sisters. Oh my gosh, I think Rachel saw that. So we have reached the end of the swapping screen time for reading time. I managed to finish 3 books, so that's about 1 book a day. So I feel very accomplished. I can't believe that I read these in 3 days, basically, which basically taught me that I need to put my phone down more and I need to read more. So yeah, that was my reading vlog for Memorial Day weekend, swapping screen time for reading time, and I will see you guys later. Bye!